Look, this are gonna sneak out early.
Hey, don't leave.
I call this meeting to order. This is the Livingston Parish Council meeting. This is a regular meeting, July the 11th, 2019. It's a few minutes after 6:30. Okay, we'll now have the invocation by Mr. Tab Lobel from Springfield, Louisiana.
Y'all bow with me. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight just thankful for the blessings you continue to send our way. We just ask that you be with us with the weather heading our way. Lord, just help us to make good decisions and keep our head on straight and do things that would be pleasing to you, Lord. We just thank you for everyone here, their willingness to serve, and we just ask a special blessing on our country here tonight, that you guide people, guide the leadership, guide those that are making the decisions for the whole country. We thank you for all you do for us. Forgive us where we fall a little short sometimes, Lord, and we'll try to do better next time. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Okay, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance and have Mr. Jeff Avery lead us in that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're now gonna ask everyone to silence or put their cell phones on vibrate so that we don't have any disturbances. All right, and we're gonna now do the. So before the roll call.
Yes, please.
Wow, that is something else. Okay. Okay, so we're now going to have a public hearing, and it's for the adoption of LP ordinance number 19-22, and this is setting the millage rates as adjusted for the tax year 2019. Okay, so does anybody from the, well, Sandy, let's allow you to read that ordinance.
This is proposed ordinance 19-22. This is an ordinance setting the millage rates as adjusted for the tax year 2019.
All right. Is there any discussion about this ordinance from the audience? Anyone? All right. Is there any discussion about this ordinance from the council? All right. I'll now close the public hearing and start the meeting. This is great. Okay, roll call.
Mr. King.
We will
Here.
Mr. Girlhouse.
Here.
Mr. R.
Here.
Mr. Mack.
Here.
Mr. Wascom.
Here.
Mr. Talbert.
Here.
Mr. Harris.
Here.
Mr. Avery.
Here.
Mr. Liddell.
Here.
All right, public input. If anyone wishing to address any agenda item, all you have to do is when that agenda item comes up is raise your hand, and then we'll call upon you, and then you can come to the podium and state your name and address, and you will be free to talk and discuss that agenda item. All right. Presentations. No presentations tonight? All right. Adoption of the minutes, agenda item number 8, adoption of the minutes from the June 27th, 2019 regular meeting of the council. Is there any discussion from the audience on that particular agenda item? None? What about the council? Mr. Bubba Harris offers a motion to adopt those minutes, second by Tracy Gerlinghouse. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Agenda item number 9. We already had the public hearing, so we're going to talk about adopting the ordinance number 19-22. This is setting the millage rates as adjusted for the tax year 2019.
I'll make a motion.
We've already talked about it, so we made a motion by Gary Frog Talbert, second by Jeff Ard, and I'll call for the vote.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Mr. Girlhouse.
Yes.
Mr. R.
Yes.
Mr. Mack.
Yes.
Mr. Wascom.
Yes.
Mr. Talbert.
Yes.
Mr. Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Avery.
Yes.
Mr. Liddell.
Okay. Agenda item number 10, parish, our wonderful parish president's report.
Well, thank you, sir. I believe it's action item A. I don't have the agenda in front of me, but we need to amend the current road program. I think there's one road, Billy, that we need to change out, but basically there's been 28 roads that have been repaired or overlaid, roughly 16 miles at approximately $6.5 million. They're in the final stages of that. There'll be a few punch list items of which Billy will certainly be on top of, but that's good news. That's good news for the people in the parish. Billy, you want to?
Yeah, just one little housekeeping item. So the one road, the one amendment we need, I think last time we added 3 roads, it was South Satsuma, Bonnie Blue, and Texas Street. Since then, there's been a road transfer program going on inside the town of Livingston they've also aware of. Mr. Jeff, Mr. Sam, from Mr. Layton, we went and met with them, Senator Erdy. Long story short, the state's gonna now do Texas Street, but in discussions in doing that, they'd like us to do another street right kind of in the vicinity called Cedar Street. It's actually gonna be a little shorter and cost less money, so we're getting 2 roads for 1, so it's a good deal for everybody. So I'd like a motion to amend the current 2017 road program to remove Texas Street and add Cedar Street.
Okay, we have a motion by Jeff Ard to amend that 2017 road program as Billy Taylor stated. We got a second by Tracy Gerlinghouse. Is there any discussion from the audience before we vote on that? Any discussion for the council? No. All right, well then, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, so 11B.
Thank you, council. We need to ask you to amend and, to approve and ratify the 2019 capital outlay road program. That's going to include roughly 17 roads, roughly 18 miles. The low bid was by R.J. Daigle of $7.3,998,138.40, which was roughly $1.25 million less than the bidder next or above them. And I would imagine most of that is because of relocation. That's the benefit we received from that. So I think that's a real good value for that. So I would ask you to approve that bid.
Okay, we got a motion by Scooter King, got a second by Tab Lobel. Any discussion from the audience on that?
Billy, did you need to? Okay.
Any more discussion from the council? None? All right.
All right.
Wait, we gotta vote, but, is there a way that we need to say this? I mean, are we good enough just saying approve and ratify 2019 road program bids? Does it say authorize the parish president to sign the contract or anything like that? Do we need to?
Just like accept the low bid from the
Okay, we're good. Okay.
And that's a road list we've already adopted, right, Billy?
That's a road list we already adopted. So that motion was by Scooter and second by Tab Lobel to approve and ratify the 2019 road program low bid. So any discussion?
R.J. Daigle.
R.J. Daigle.
And I guess you did some.
Okay. Is there any discussion from the audience? None from the council? All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No? Okay.
Can I have just a couple more minutes?
Well, yes, sir,
To
Mr.
discuss
President.
the topic of the day, which is Tropical Storm Barry, possible Hurricane Barry. Just to kind of update you on where we're at and what we expect and what we're doing. Sam and them have been putting out sand and sandbags since Tuesday, I believe, Sam?
Sir?
Been putting out sand and sandbags since Tuesday or Wednesday morning.
First of the week.
Roughly 35,900 plus bags so far, 642 tons of sand so far. They're taking them as fast as we can get it there. We've also increased our staff to go around shift work already for DPW through the weekend. And if need be, OEP will ramp up. They're already doing some shift work Friday and Saturday, but they'll ramp up full capacity if need be, once we know for sure, and probably we'll know by tomorrow afternoon a little bit more of what to expect from this storm. Right now, it's coming up the Amite River. But if it bobbles a little bit more to the east, and they're expecting it to do that, then we'll be on the good side of it if that happens. And I certainly don't pray that it be on anybody else, but obviously we don't want it. We've been working with gravity drainage. We've been going around with our vac truck. We've been trying to blow and clean out culverts. in all the hot spots that we've had complaints from across the parish that DPW, Sam and Huey are aware of, opening up a lot of culverts. So we're asking people, and I said this in an interview this morning, please take the time while we've got the time before the storm comes to go out in your yards, pick up any toys that we all have kids or grandkids that leave laying around, any lightweight things, because if it does come through as predicted now, we're probably looking at winds of approximately 40-mile-an-hour knot. So that will take that stuff and push it down in our culverts and clog them up again, and then the waters will come, because this isn't going to be, in my opinion right now from what I understand, so much the problem with the initial push, but when it goes up north and comes back down on us is when I think we're going to see. We don't know yet, but that's just the best estimate that we have right now from the Hurricane Weather Center. We're obviously been working with the Sheriff's Office. They're using our sandbagger with some inmate labor, helping us fill some bags and get them to different parts of the parish, but obviously our location is to take them to all the fire stations, which we have been doing. It was tough for a little while getting some additional sand and sandbags, because I mean, all the municipalities, everybody's lapping them up because they just don't know what this thing is going to do, but we've been able to secure sand and sandbags. So having said that, if anyone has any complaints or any issues that we need to address, obviously the hotline number or 911 or the Sheriff's Department or my cell, or I'm sure you all have given your cell out as well, but 686-3996 if we can get out there to help them do something. That's about all I have at this point. Again, I think by tomorrow afternoon we'll have a little bit clearer picture of what path this thing is going to take. So let's just hope and pray that we don't receive the brunt of it.
Mr. Ricks, just in case somebody gets a call 9 or 10 o'clock at night, will that 686-3996 be?
Yes.
Someone be
That'll be the hotline number all the way through.
all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we really don't want them to just call that number to be calling.
Just to talk about what's
Well,
happening.
you know, people are nervous. They're scared. We understand that. I know you all are hearing it just like I am. And a lot of us flooded in 2016, and everyone still feels the impact of that flood. We still have a lot of people who are not back in their homes yet. And so
But if that's an
they're greatly
emergency-
concerned about what they're seeing and hearing right now.
But if that's an emergency, that number is.
Yes, that's a good number.
Okay. great.
Okay?
Yes.
All right, guys, and we'll be in
Appreciate it.
touch with y'all to update you all too
Thank you.
throughout the thing. Thank you, council.
Thank you very much, very, very much. Agenda item number 11, Mr. Sam, this is the Planning Commission recommendations.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. First on the agenda from the Planning Department, Planning Commission, subdivision without improvements, Livingston Woods Products. This is in Mr. Shane Mack's district, off of Highway 1036. It is a recommendation of the Livingston Parish Planning Commission to approve the subdivision without improvements for the Livingston Woods product contingent on a drainage impact study. Simply because this is a subdivision without improvements, the preliminary's forth, then we're gonna go, y'all approve that, and then we're gonna, do the drainage impact study.
Will that be under the new standard with the 25-year?
Sure,
stormwater
everything, Gary.
retention, 100-year look upstream and
Yeah.
downstream mooring?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I talked to Billy about that.
Since you made your vote.
Yep. Okay, cool. So we have a motion by Mr. Bubba Harris to approve this preliminary site plan contingent upon a drainage impact study being done.
Yes, sir.
We have a second, anybody? Second by Scooter King. Any discussion from the audience on this particular development? None from the council? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Okay, agenda item 11B.
Let's see, I got one here and stuff. Okay, next on your agenda is Miss Jennifer Edgeridge. This is a waiver on the number of lots on a servitude. It is a recommendation of the Livingston Parish Planning Commission to approve the waiver on the number of lots on a servitude for Miss Jennifer. This is a map. This is an unusual, well, I say unusual, this happened quite a bit way back in the day. It was just a deed, papers drawn up to transfer of property, and the map was never done. So now they want to do the map so they can probably sell the property, and it's an additional lot on this piece of property, so I'm coming to you guys for that additional lot on this servitude. This is in Mr. Jeff Ard's district, and I think Mr. Jeff knows about it.
Okay, is there any discussion from the audience on this particular waiver? Any from the council? Is there a motion to approve with the waiver of lots on servitude? Got a motion by Jeff Ard, second by Tracy Gerlinghouse. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nope.
Okay, thank you. Subdivision with improvements. This is Jubin Park, fourth filing. This is in Mr. Bubba Harris's district, off Brown Road. It is a recommendation of the Livingston Parish Planning Commission to approve the preliminary plat for Jubin Park, fourth filing, contingent on being included in the original preliminary plat. And what we mean by that is you require, Mr. Tracy was at the meeting last night, you guys have adopted a new ordinance with the entrance, the two entrances in and out. This plat was in the first go-around, so the engineers, as well as myself, you know, we will recognize the plat being approved. I think it was back in '07 or '08 originally, so
That was a while back.
that wasn't.
So does this one have two entrances or not?
No. Now, it has an emergency entrance. Billy, if you want to share a little bit with that, I would ask you to do, this comes out of a school. It's not going to be, I don't know, you might have talked to the developer.
I haven't talked to the school board, so the main entrance is off of Brown Road, and it was a big development. They've been building it in phase. This was a phase that was approved and hasn't got built yet. And there is a second entrance that goes through the school and comes out on Brown Road. The question is, does that count as an entrance? Because it could be locked sometimes. So I think this, basically we're saying since it was approved in 2007, we're gonna go by those rules and you only need one entrance. However, the developer does have a piece of property to the south of this that he can use to tie into a road into Villa Estates, and he told us to go ahead and agree to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and put another entrance in anyway. I don't think it's gonna be required, but anyway. So hope that explains it, and we're gonna go ahead and put that other entrance in.
All right.
Good deal. Why didn't you tell me that earlier?
Well, if that being the case,
He told me that, I was wondering how you would have been.
Why? He left me out. That's
Kept you
right.
out of the loop for some reason.
That's
I don't know.
okay. That's okay.
But it was technically, they were saying that this filing was on the preliminary. So, you know, but the developer's gracious enough to say we're gonna put another entrance in anyway, so.
Good, you
So, you know, under that guy's eye for the motion.
okay, I apologize, but
Tracy offered the motion.
can you just say something about that motion? You offer the motion based on anything contingent or
Well,
anything?
the preliminary plat had this filing in it, even though it was back in 2007.
The original.
So technically, we can't hold the new ordinance to them because it was in the original filing, they're saying.
So you,
But
you're making your motion contingent on it being
they're
included in the
offering
original
to put in
plan?
another entrance anyway. So they will be good anyway, so they're gracious enough to add another entrance. And on that basis, I will offer the motion for this.
Okay, so Tracy offers the motion to approve the preliminary plat for Jubin Park fourth filing, and Jeff Averett makes a second on that. Is there any discussion from the audience? Is there any discussion from the council? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. 11D.
Okay, next on the agenda is a commercial development. This is permanent coatings. This is in Mr. Scooter King's district behind the old Dixon Memorial Hospital on Florida Boulevard. It is a recommendation of the Livingston Parish Planning Commission to approve the preliminary site plan for Permanent Coatings Incorporated. He already has a business there. He's just gonna expand it a little bit, and it's on another lot. So he had to come back to the,
Tore up nasty mess. Yeah, I'll make that motion to approve.
Motion by Scooter King to approve the preliminary, site plan for permanent coatings. Second by Bubba Harris. Any discussion from the council? Any discussion from the audience? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Okay, next on your agenda is a waiver. This is in Mr. Shane Mack's district, Deer Lake subdivision. It's a waiver requesting setbacks off of Highway 42. It is a recommendation of the Livingston Parish Planning Commission to approve the waiver request on Deer Lake's subdivision. You want me to explain a little bit about
Yeah,
it?
you're gonna have to, I mean, I see the 25 to 20. I mean,
Okay.
I don't see where that's that big a deal.
This is a
What are
subdivision.
you talking about this drainage to remain
Well,
private
this is
stuff?
a subdivision that, Fort Nablata and I went out and inspected back in 2013, a residential subdivision. Everything was fine, okay? Unfortunately, the developer, owner, whomever you want to say, went bankrupt. So he sold the place, a
Okay.
developed subdivision.
All right, you refreshed my memory. I went and looked at
You
this.
did,
I
okay,
was thinking
good.
of 42 down there in Springfield.
I got
was
you.
thinking,
It's 442.
Four forty.
you're talking about 442 North Albany. I got this. Yeah, this is gonna be fine, guys. This is actually gonna be an improvement, okay? The subdivision is all grown up and it's nasty looking and it's basically unusable. And, this guy's gonna go in there and, it's gonna be nice when he's done.
Why does he need to
The
change
the reason for the setback is because you require a 25-foot setback on a residential home. He's putting these modular trailers in there, which we don't have a problem with because you don't say you can't. This is a developed subdivision, and it's good roads in
And
there.
there's
It's
0
all
houses in there
just
right
like
now.
a subdivision.
It's gonna-
But he's gonna put
all
these
the places in
modular
there is gonna
trailers
be like
in
that.
there, and he needs that 5 foot,
Right,
to put that trailer in.
Okay.
that's right,
and that's the reason for the waiver.
that's right.
Look, I see there's 3 nays on here. I mean, was it just because it's saying that it's, our setback's supposed to be 25, so they voted no on the score sheet?
Scooter, I don't know why they
Is
voted
this
no,
road gonna
maybe
stay,
just.
is this road gonna, is this a private road now, it's never been taken into
No, the
parish?
parish already owns the road,
The
Gary.
parish already owns it and it's all black.
Gary, it's already owned by the parish. They just wanna maintain the drainage, which I sure don't have a problem with.
So the planning commission probably voted no because it goes against the rules of 25 to 20.
Maybe so, but I can't answer why they did. That's, you know, that's individual and personal, so.
I mean, same. I
But
was
they're gonna
there.
put trailers on it
I mean, if you go
in
look at it
place of
now,
home.
Yeah, it
it's
passed. I
garbage
was
and it's
just
gonna be
wondering if
good.
it was something else that they were seeing that we weren't seeing. Okay.
It's a nice subdivision.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there any discussion from the audience on this? Any more discussion from the council? We got a motion on the floor by Bubba Harris, to accept this, Deer Lakes subdivision, waiver request on the setbacks, and, the drainage is gonna remain private at this point. Is there a second? Second by Jeff Avery. All in favor? I call for the vote then. I apologize, we're gonna have to take that back. We have someone that would like for us to call for the vote on this.
That's cool.
So I call for the vote.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Garlinghouse?
Yes.
Mr. Ard?
Yes.
Mr. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Wascom?
Yes.
Mr. Talbot?
No.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Lidwell?
Yes.
All right,
Okay. Next on the agenda is a waiver for a number of lots on a servitude. This is in Mr. Gary Talbot's district, for RS Reynolds property.
Where's 11 at? Where's the picture?
I'm sorry,
Talking to the clerk.
it's on the
This
pink.
it?
None of us got F.
Oh, it's that extra paper.
It's just not there.
No, that's the different, that's the lift.
Oh, here it is, it's last.
That's the last page.
the last page.
Last one.
Okay.
Oh, Somebody didn't know the alphabet.
And do it in the correct order.
Okay.
Okay,
Should I continue?
yeah, rock on with yourself. This is, agenda item number 11F. This is RS Reynolds property. There's a waiver, number of lots on the servitude.
In
Council
Mr. Talbot's
District
area, located on Pink Graves Road. It's a recommendation of the Livingston Parish Planning Commission to approve the waiver on the number of lots on the servitude for Reynolds properties.
We just subdivided one big piece into two, that ain't.
And the number of lots on it is 6. I sent Mr. Geary a map on it today.
Okay. I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay, we got a motion by Gary Frog Talbot to approve, RS Reynolds properties with a waiver of number of lots on the servitude, a second by Scooter King. Is there any discussion from the audience on this particular agenda item? Any discussion from the council? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nope. All right.
I'm gonna call for the vote. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Okay, I'll vote.
I'm just kidding.
Next on your agenda is a commercial development, coastal process, preliminary site plan. This is in Mr. Shane Mack's district also, off of James Chapel.
Yeah, this is an existing business, and it looks like to me they're just subdividing some property and gonna maybe add on to their business.
I think so, Shane.
Yeah.
It is a recommendation of the Livingston Parish Planning Commission to approve the preliminary site plan for coastal process.
Yep.
Without limestone parking, but with the ability to do so with concrete at a later date.
Okay, any discussion from the audience on this particular agenda item? Any from the council? I don't know if you've ever been out there down James Chapel, but it just recently got paved, by the way, and this is a nice business. They keep their property nice. It's a, they build concrete. I mean, they have concrete structures they build for like sewage and stuff like that. It's
Oh, I know what,
good
I know
stuff.
what you're talking
Yeah,
about. I see, I
Yeah.
drove by the other day, yep.
yeah. So we got a motion on the floor by Mr. Bubba Harris to accept this preliminary site plan. We got a second by John Wascom. Is there any discussion from the audience on this? Any more from the council? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. All right.
Okay,
11H.
number last. This is a mobile home park, existing, I might say. He's asking for a waiver for additional lots. This is in Mr. Jeff Averett's district. It is a recommendation of the Livingston Parish Planning Commission to approve adding 10 lots for the Ridgecrest Mobile Home Park without having to put down concrete pads up underneath the trailers.
Yeah, so is there any discussion from the council on this?
Like I said, I wouldn't look at this, the guy, sorry. It was a friend of mine who that I went to school with, who purchased this. He does this for a living. He buys, trailer parks and absolute, and, you know, just, this park is abysmal. It's terrible, and he is going to fix the sewage, fix
You're
the
gonna make it
sewage
look like
problem.
this.
And
Make it
he's
look
gonna-
like it ought to
and
look.
The 10 lots that he's gonna add, and, you know, it meets the requirements as far as the distance and the offset, but they're all gonna be 2019s, you know, brand new trailers. He's gonna do the pad to HUD specifications. He's gonna, you know, put in limestone roads. It's, you know, if you go see it now, he's gonna put a wood fence around the pond. He's gonna redo the sewage treatment, the sewer in it. He's gonna put chlorine. He's just gonna go above and beyond. This is actually an eyesore over there, and it's going to make it much better. So I think
It's
what
gonna be
he's
great.
asking is minimal compared to what he's bringing to the community. Plus, he lives within a mile, personally lives within a mile of this park, so, you know.
That'll be it.
So I looked at what, at the body of work he's gonna do, and I don't have any problem granting waiver for this on
Got a motion by Jeff Averett to, approve Ridgecrest Mobile Home Park with the additional lots. We have a second by Tracy Gerlinghouse. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Yep.
And, is there any discussion from the audience on this? Any more discussion from the council? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nope. All right,
Thank
we're
you.
good. Thank you, and
Thank
keep
you,
up the good
sir.
work and try to take care of everybody, Mr.
Be
Sam.
safe if you leave.
Mr. Chairman,
Sir?
I'd like to lift the agenda.
Okay, we have a request to lift the agenda. Do we have a motion to, lift the agenda? We have a motion by Jeff Averett, a second by Bubba Harris. This will be to, do we need to talk about why we lifting the agenda?
It's a time-sensitive matter. for
Time,
planning.
time-sensitive matter for planning. This is to discuss, a waiver on setback. And, so I call for the vote to lift the agenda.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Gerlinghouse?
Yes.
Mr. Ard?
Yes.
Mr. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Westphal?
Yes.
Mr. Talbert?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Averett?
Yes.
Mr. Livermore?
All right, so now, does anybody have any information to offer about this, waiver, the setback?
Yeah, so waiver for a 4-foot setback on the backside of our property, because our trailer is long, it's 76 foot long.
Okay, so she's purchasing a new trailer, the trailer's longer, and she needs to put it on the same piece of property.
Yep.
And so she needs this in order to do so, and it's actually gonna make it a lot better, cause she's gonna have a better place to live,
Yep.
and it's gonna look a lot better, cause it's a new trailer, so that's gonna be nice. So,
Is there drainage or anything behind in the back? It doesn't look like there is.
Looks like it's just vacant behind it, yeah, this big piece of property.
Yeah.
I don't see any problem with that.
yeah, this property looks like it's high and dry and hard
So
surface.
she on the property had a trailer there, purchased a new one, which is longer. She wants to- Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to grant this, setback for, do you have a name?
Yeah, Erling Bourgeois.
Erlene Bourgeois.
I'll second.
We have a second by Tracy Gerlinghouse. Is there any discussion from the audience on this particular agenda item? No? Any discussion from the council?
No, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. Okay, now we need to,
Motion to go back into the regular.
yes, sir, we need to make a motion to go back into the regular meeting. We got a motion by Jeff Ard, we got a second by Scooter Keen. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? What would you do if it got voted down to go back into the regular meeting?
We just hang out again until we convince somebody it's time.
Go home.
Okay, agenda item number 12, discussion of Livingston Parish forms in Council District number 8. This is in Mr. Tab Lobel's district.
That's gonna get, tabled, they have a meeting on Monday to discuss that, all the parties involved.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so we're gonna table agenda item 12
Without a date.
without a date.
Postpone.
Postpone.
May not need to come back.
May not need to come back. Thank y'all for coming.
Defer.
Where you going?
Okay, agenda item
Keep your feet
13.
dry.
You can keep wearing that purple shirt too, Mr. Sam. That reminds me of them people from Holden.
And denim.
Holden. Okay, agenda item 13, introduction of an ordinance. This ordinance would be to dissolve the mosquito abatement district 2 and 3. That was a mosquito abatement district that covered Mr. Scooter Keen and Mr. Gary Frog Talbert's district. And so, would y'all like to talk about that in any way, shape, or form?
I think John just wants to make the motion. You go ahead and make the motion, John?
Well, I'm assuming this is to dissolve.
We're gonna have to read that. I apologize, I forgot.
Yep.
My bad. You go.
This is gonna be proposed ordinance 19-23. It's an ordinance to rescind LP ordinance number 1815 adopted on April 26, 2018, providing for the creation of mosquito abatement district 2 and 3, and establishing a board in the parish of Livingston, state of Louisiana, and LP ordinance number 19-07 public hearing will be at 6:30 PM on July 25th.
Okay, is there any discussion from the audience on this particular agenda item? Oh, come on up.
Shannon Sloan, 9943 West Summerfield in Denham Springs. Thank you for adding this item to the agenda, but I really just want to ask if you know when the financial information will be available on the final cost of
I
this
don't know.
program.
Does
You'll have
anybody
to
know?
ask Jennifer. We didn't get any money. Jennifer paid our bills.
Right,
We
the
just have
last time I asked her, they were still waiting on a couple invoices.
So
And I don't know how the cost of the election is determined, so I would check with her.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Is that it, Ms. Shannon?
That's it.
So there are still some open invoices with the mosquito district?
The
Yes.
last time I checked with her, but that's been a month or 6 weeks.
She still hadn't got the bill from Secretary of State, but it doesn't matter. The
It
parish,
doesn't matter.
the bill's gotta be paid, so there's no action that the district has to take.
I guess my question is.
You agree with that, Mr. Moody?
Well, you called the election, so it's a parish expense.
Yep. Yeah, we did do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did do that.
No, I guess my question is, what if there's outstanding invoices that had nothing to do with the election?
The parish is
There
responsible.
are none.
I mean, do you have any, you say you don't know.
Oh, I mean, there are no invoices that need to be paid that Jennifer doesn't have to pay. The only outstanding expenditure that we don't know is what the Secretary of State charges. And when she gets that bill, she'll pay it.
And the parish is responsible.
Okay, so there's no business. Now, we can leave the district in force if y'all want to,
Well-
but there's no business that the district has anymore.
I think, your Secretary of State still has to send money, still has to send an invoice. I think Butler Snow still has one that's pending.
Butler
coming in.
Snow's not,
Oh, they're sending an invoice.
you think?
Oh, I know for a fact they are.
Well, they've had they've been asked to send it, they hadn't sent one
And then-
yet.
And then you've got one from Jim Ryan as well, coming in. So my question is, what if you wanted to spend more money than you had in the budget? Then what?
The parish is gonna be liable for, I mean, we called for the election.
We're not, the district did not spend more money than was allocated. Now, if the election caused it to go over the budget, we all 9 of us called for the election.
Eight of them.
He doesn't wanna be a councilman tonight, see?
No,
I mean, the council called for the election, so the expenditure is gonna be paid by the council.
Yeah, we gotta pay it.
I'll make a motion gladly that we dissolve the Livingston Parish Mosquito Abatement District 1 and 2,
It's
I'll
actually
second
2 and 3. You need to get that
2
right.
and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah, I think that's,
It's a very serious topic. We gotta get this straight.
I'm glad, I hate that it showed up and we created it, but I'm glad it's going away.
and we said we'd dissolve it whenever we were through, so we are.
And I just wanted to give you the honor of making the motion, cause I knew you'd like that.
That's right.
Well, I just
Yeah,
don't,
that
I
was
just,
nice of you, Gary.
I don't want the parish to get hung with bills that, like, that the mosquito district paid. And, I don't want the parish to have to pay those, those bills that the taxpayers have to pay that they shouldn't have had to pay. So that's just me.
Well, that's what anything with our government, anything that comes up is gonna. go
Is there a
through us.
second? Is there a second? There's a second by Tracy Girlinghouse. All right, so did we ask the audience if there was any more discussion? Okay, is there any more discussion from this council? I call for the vote on this one.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Greenhouse?
Yes.
Mr. Ard?
Yes.
Mr. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Wascom?
Yes.
Mr. Talbert?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Averett?
Yes.
Mr. Lidwell?
All right.
Hey, we
All
got
right.
unanimous
That
on
might have been the
mosquito
first
vote.
time we got something unanimous on mosquitoes, I promise you.
I'd like to see those financials come in soon.
I
Go
mean,
ahead,
we still
Mr.
got,
Bubba.
they still got a lot of,
The people and their districts come up and wanted them to bring it back up for a vote.
oh yeah, that's why I passed.
No.
No, I'll say it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But they done what people asked them to do. It didn't pass, so that means those didn't get out and vote.
Or we were wrong, and the people
No,
we were talking to said they didn't.
Come on, guys, let's
It's
leave it,
okay.
we all just, that's wrong.
No.
Next item, Mr. Chairman.
No, I'll say this.
I'm enjoying
They
that.
represent
What?
They represent the people of their district. They were elected to do that.
Yes and no.
Just like you were, just like I was.
Yes
Now,
and no.
I, like you,
Oh, don't
did not
lie.
agree. No.
Well, I wanted to say
Were they not
something.
duly elected?
Oh, yeah, they were all like,
They
You
were
know-
duly elected, so they did what they thought, but that is their prerogative.
yeah.
You can't find out
You
much
know,
about
I
it.
didn't think it was something my people wanted to do, so I didn't do it. If it would, you know,
If
but
you
I-
would have thought that.
but I think
you
they have the
would've-
right to bring the vote to their people, so.
Well,
Thank you, I
it's-
appreciate that.
You know,
Well, just like SRO vote, the Springfield High School vote, the rec district votes, the gravity drainage votes, every single one of them we brought to the people and they voted no. Okay? Should we never bring it up to the people? Should we just start levying these fees to people? No, we should not. So if we don't bring it to a vote, all these things, how can we know?
well, don't get me started.
Well, I mean, we brought up rec
You don't
districts
wanna
3
hear it.
times, we brought up the drainage districts twice.
Mr. Chairman, we got somebody wants to
You know,
wants to
so
ask a question.
That's the case.
Okay, come on up, buddy. Just a reminder to state your name and your address.
Drew Mullins, 34977 Phillip Drive, Denham Springs. So what we're saying is that we're going to ask everybody 3 times. Is this baseball now? We have the baseball analogy. We're going to ask people 3 times to see if they're going to take our tax monies. You guys think it's a joke up here, but it's not a joke to us.
It's not a joke to us.
But you're laughing.
Well, it's not a joke.
But you're laughing at the situation. Is it a joke?
No, it's not a joke.
Thank you. Well, take it seriously. Stop laughing at this problem. Thank you.
Drainage is serious.
You've been here through the whole thing, you've been here through the whole deal.
Then you would
You
know.
done-
Appreciate you.
That's fine.
Appreciate you, buddy.
But have a little professionalism.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. What you got there, buddy?
In moral support, I got my mosquito trap in the back of the truck coming installed tonight. And I appreciate your humor, because if you wouldn't have been at all the meetings, you wouldn't fully understand the humor.
I agree.
I'm sorry, man, you just had to be here. It's
Well, and we try to stay light, cause you know what we have to deal with every day. You know,
Okay,
it
so,
drives us crazy.
all right. Agenda item number 14. That's gonna be a board reappointment. That's gonna be the Waterway Commission, and that is also, Mr. Tableau's gonna talk about that.
Yes, Mr. Les Reynolds is stepping down after a whole lot of years of good service, and Miss Heidi Kegler, is taking his spot. She lives down there on Chickapin Canal, and she's got a, hand on the heartbeat of the waterways, so she kinda knows what's going on. So we're looking forward to having her on board.
It's fantastic.
That's a Walker, originally Walker person.
She already-
That's what y'all got over there?
Yes.
You trying to give Walker people the credit for this?
I'm just saying she's from Walker.
Okay,
Ain't no
so,
water near Walker.
so is that a motion on the floor, Mr. Tab?
Yes, sir.
That's a motion on the floor to, appoint Heidi Kiger, my bad, to the Waterway Commission.
I'll
So
second
there's
that
a second
Walker-
by-
that former Walker resident.
Tracy Gerlinghouse seconds the motion. Is there any discussion from the audience on this? Any discussion from the council? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. Okay, agenda item number 15. This is gonna be the consideration and adoption of a variance to authorize a 5-foot temporary fence at 30820 Burgess Road on the back side of the property until they close on future property located on the back side that meets the 6-foot fencing requirements. Mr. Tracy, Gerlinghouse District, could you, elaborate on that? if you
They're
so choose?
closing on the property behind them, and they have a fence in place, and they just want a temporary variance to where so when they close on that property, they can do it. They don't have any children.
Is this for a pool, Tracy?
Yes, yes. But until they close on the property, they don't want to put a permanent fence up where they can move it onto that property. They're gonna close very soon, so I'm okay
They're
with
gonna
it.
put the fence further back.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So ain't no
I'll
problem.
make a motion.
I'll say.
So we have a motion on the floor to adopt this, variance to authorize the 5-foot temporary fence for the said property. by Tracy Gerlinghouse.
Yes,
4 foot or is it 5 foot temporary?
it is a 4-foot temporary.
Okay.
Yeah, because the pool only requires a 5 foot fence.
Correct.
So it's 4 and 5.
So it's temporary.
They got
A
4
4-foot temporary fence.
till
Right.
they close to erect a 5 foot permanent fence.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, good catch. All right, is there, there's a motion on the floor by Tracy Gerlinghouse and a second by, Scooter Keene. Is there any discussion from the audience on this? Anybody? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nope. All right.
Nothing on 16.
16, is that's gonna be
Nothing.
tabled?
That's just a standing line item.
Mr. Sam asked us to-
We don't have nothing to discuss on
Right.
agenda item number 16.
Both
Okay.
deferring 17.
17, are you deferring that, Mr. Bubba?
Yes, I want to defer. The man that wanted to come speak tonight is helping some people sandbag.
Yeah.
That's going on all over right now. How many bags they said they own? 34,000? That's a lot of sandbags.
Okay,
Mr. Bubba deferred without a date,
Our next meeting.
the next meeting, first
25th.
and next meeting.
we're gonna defer agenda item 17 to the next council meeting. Agenda item 18, this is gonna be a waiver request to place mobile homes in a named subdivision. This is, Wedgewood Acres subdivision. The name on this one is gonna be Tammy Callison, okay? And that's, that address 7810 Cripple K Road, Denham Springs, Louisiana, 70706. This is in, Mr. Gary Talbert's district.
There are no trailers around there, and I'm gonna not grant the waiver. So we'll just defer it or kill it or whatever we need to do.
Well, are you making a motion that we deny this
Yes.
waiver request?
Yes.
We have a motion on the floor to deny the waiver request at Wedgewood Acres subdivision for Miss Tammy Callison. Is there a second on the floor?
Are there any
There's a-
trailers in the neighborhood now, what you're saying?
No,
No, not in Wedgewood.
so that little drawing,
Was there a
that's where
trailer
she
there
was gonna
before?
put it.
That's where she was gonna put it.
Did they have a trailer there before?
No.
So there's never a trailer in the neighborhood, never before. I'll second
And
that.
that was the intent of the ordinance,
Yeah.
correct?
Okay, so we have a second by Tracy Gerlinghouse on this particular agenda item. Is there any, discussion from the audience on this agenda item? All right, call for the vote on this.
Mr. King,
I guess that's a yes.
to deny the
Yeah,
request.
To deny the request.
Yeah,
That's
yes.
right.
Mr. Gerlinghouse.
Yes.
Mr. Arroyo.
Yes.
Mr. Mack.
Yes.
Mr. Westphal.
Yes.
Mr. Talbert.
Yes.
Mr. Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Averitt.
Yes.
Mr. Liddell.
Yes.
District Attorney report? No report. No report from the District Attorney? Or acting District Attorney? Anyway, so committee reports, Gary, you wanna talk about the sewer ordinance?
We met today and discussed sewer ordinance, and there, I think there needs to be some misconceptions about what we're trying to do, but we'll keep struggling with it and moving forward, and hopefully we can iron out some of the concerns. But it's one way that we're gonna, clean up our waterways, but,
Protect the environment.
yeah, but we addressed it. We were gonna talk about grinder pumps, but it got tabled temporarily, so.
Okay. We'll have to pick that up at the next council meeting. Does anybody wanna talk about the, finance committee meeting, Mr. Chair Tracy Gerlinghouse?
Ms. Schumer said the numbers were pretty in line for what they should be. I think there's a little variance, but because they have a 3-month gap, that she's hard to estimate. And the audit is ready and will be presented at the next meeting.
Excellent. That's great news.
I agree.
Is there any councilman comment?
I've got something. Last Friday, we lost Jimmy Purvis to cancer. He was, my appointment on the PARS board. Been there 14 years, and, he loved that park system. And now I've gotta find somebody to fill those shoes. It's gonna be kinda hard, but, we miss him, and, having a fundraising golf tournament for him on the 21st at Denham Springs Country Club, the Pines at North Park, to raise money to help defray some of the costs that he's associated with all this treatment. And, just hope you will pray for his family and their comfort, with him passing.
July 21st,
Yeah, July 21st,
Sunday.
Sunday.
Anybody else?
I don't know if y'all remember after the Hurricane Harvey over in Houston area, the Springfield folks, we put together a little family school and a town kind of like the size of Springfield, and went over and kind of helped them out, their school and such as that. Got a text from a guy in Mauriceville, Texas this morning that said, "Hi, I'm from a grateful Mauriceville, Texas, and wanting to organize some assistance to Springfield should you guys experience flooding or damage from the storm coming y'all's way." That's just that's coming all the way full circle. You know, we went over there and brought a bunch of supplies and cooked about a little 3,000 meals in a couple of days, and you know, they didn't forget about it. And they could very easily have, but kind of make you feel good. You know?
That makes a difference, don't it?
It does.
So thank you for going, and thank them if they happen to come. We don't get down to you.
Yeah, I sure hope you don't have to come.
I hope they don't either. And that's, y'all be sure and call each other. Y'all need something. We'll get it if we can get to you.
Also on August the 10th, we don't know what's gonna happen now, but it's gonna be a river cleanup day. August the 10th.
All right.
Yeah.
If we need to talk about that a little more at the next meeting.
You got that? You want to put that on the agenda just to talk about
Yeah,
next
why don't we
week?
put discussion of the river cleanup, Amy River cleanup on August 10th. I talked to the lady too that's doing it, and I think it'd be a great thing. And they actually would look for people with kayaks and to get on the upper Amy to pull some stuff out.
I got a kayak.
Well, we got an elk banquet that day, so I can't go, but I
got
can
a
send
jet
you, and then you come to the banquet.
Yeah, you can come jet ski up there.
Wait a minute, Gary, you said you got a kayak. What's the weight rating on it?
Less than me. I mean, more than me. Some of them out.
I like to say, leave here that they're still actively supplying sandbags. I know at the Walker Central Station.
And if you don't
They're
spring
gonna be
City
doing
Hall,
it.
they pump.
They're gonna be
pump them
doing
out.
it, I asked them, they probably will be doing it all night. When I leave here, I'm gonna go over and tell them. So if you live, I would imagine in any area, if you live in the Walker area, I know that you can come and get sandbags behind the, station on Palmetto Street. And if you need sandbags, if you need to reach or have an idea or anything, you can call my parish line. It's 225-236-8774. Anytime between now and when it's over with, and I will be glad to help you any way I can. See if we can figure out a way to get the sandbags and load them up for you, get them over there for you, figure out something.
I'd like to give a little shout out to some of the student athletes from Frank Settlement High School, Dall High School, and Springfield High School for going out today and helping sandbag. That kids done a good job.
There was a bunch of,
Springfield,
I know our Boy Scout Troop 283 was out at Denham today, and they were filling the sandbag. And that's ain't a whole lot of way you can help before the storm except that, and hopefully we won't need one of these sandbags. It'd be okay.
You know, I do want to say something, and Mr. Talbot made a comment a while ago, and I agree. In Denham Springs, in 2016, the Amite River backed up and flooded a lot of people, and now people are really nervous because of the rain. And the component that caused the flood in 2016 is, as Mr. Talbot said, is that the water rained heavy up north of us in Denham and stood over us for a long time. So we got that water plus the water from the north. In this particular case, the water is down south, way down south, and I know it's a hurricane coming, but I just want to give people a little bit of, I know the television says there's gonna be deadly flooding coming, and it just,
a little different dynamic.
I think there's a different components in this particular one, so if there's any, I don't wanna tell you not be prepared, but be be confident and peaceful, because I'm getting phone calls of people that are a little bit,
You know,
on edge.
there's no doubt that this storm probably will bring localized flash flooding to our area. But hopefully we don't have the river event that we had in 2016. And trust me, I'm not happy about the localized flash flooding, because I flooded on Friday before the river event happened
And then again on.
and then again on Saturday. So trust me, localized flash flooding can do, plenty damage, so. Plenty damage, so just be diligent and be careful and be prepared.
And in the case where it does hit and we struggle, let's stick together, help each other, and let's make the best of it.
Absolutely.
Is there a
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by John Wascom, a second by Jeff Ard. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?